Heidi ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals, and I'm so very happy that you joined me today. So today we are going to continue working on our little folio. So here it is, and I've already done some little things that I can show you. So here is what I've done. So here in the center, I've covered the center panel. Now, if you'll remember from the previous video, all the panels look like this. They were all yellow. So here in the center, and we've finished this page, so I covered the back page with these little polka dots, which I thought were so cute, but I haven't decorated it yet. Now, here in the center, right here, I covered this page with this pretty florally butterfly page. And then I added this little flip page here. And it looks like the page I covered it with right here is part of my flip. It needs trimmed a little bit. This little green, I need to trim it a little bit. I just put that on there, so let's get that trimmed. Yeah, I think my glue might even still be a little bit wet. So then I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. So let me show you. All right, so hold on here. There we go. So on the inside here, all right, let's see what's happening here. Oh, I just bumped it. Okay, so before I put this page down, this page flips over. Okay, this pretty little page here. I put the bottom of the flip underneath it to hide it. It's underneath it. Okay, so you can't see it. So this page flips over. Then I added this page. And the flip for this is underneath here. And as you can see, my glue stuck. That's okay. There's going to be something underneath there. So this flips up right here. So on this, we're going to have these three little cards for little pockets. So you all know how I love my little layered pockets. And these are going to go right here. And they look like little index cards. And they go down in size. They go small, medium, and large. Now, the large comes down to the bottom. And I'm leaving just a little border at the bottom. And I'm going to show you how I made them. And I'm leaving just a little border over here. So when this flips, it has room to flip over because of this. Okay? So I'm going to glue these down. And then I'm going to show you how I made them, okay? So this one needs glued all the way down, okay? And I'm going to show you how I made these little tabs. You know, now you can use to make, I just used my cardstock that I'm using. That's all that I used. I just used my cardstock. Now, if you don't have cardstock, that's okay. You don't. Okay, so I need to make sure that that tab is right there. I just used the cardstock from the pack that I'm using. That's all that I used. And then this one, I'm just going to glue as a pocket. You all know how much I love my pockets. So I'm going to just glue it just like a regular pocket. Just on three sides. And then I'm going to line it up. Now, my right side, this is my right hand. I want to make sure that I'm leaving roughly enough room over here. Now, remember, they're not all the same size. Right? And this needs to come down a little bit, because this one's going to sit here and it's going to come up a little bit. So that's good right there. Now, you could even take your pencil and you could even make a little tick mark if you wanted, you know, where you want to put them. And I rounded the corners on mine. Oop, my top one is not sticking down. I even rounded the corners on mine. Now, you don't have to do that. You could even cover a little, you could use an index card if you wanted. You could use your envelope board if you have one of those. I don't have one of those, so I just had to make mine work. Okay, so I still need to make sure that this flips. Okay, here. Okay, so that's good. But you also have to make sure any glue that comes out doesn't glue anyplace else. You know what I mean? That was a problem I had over there. So I need to make sure I get all my glue off of over here. And I need to make sure that this comes down. Goes down. So I need to make sure any glue I have up here from my fingers comes off. Oops. And I need to make sure that I keep it straight. Okay, so I need to make sure when I close this, it stays closed. Okay. Now, this, okay, so I need to get a little bit of glue, still a little bit more glue under this edge right here. So what I did for the green, for this green piece that's flipping, I think that's what's catching here, is I didn't get this glued all the way. So we're going to get some glue under there. Sorry if you're seeing my head. We're going to get that glued down the rest of the way. I took my green piece and I cut it the width and the length of the piece that I wanted. Okay, I cut it the width and the length of the piece that I wanted for my flip, which had to equal, it had to equal this piece, okay, my center piece. It couldn't be any bigger than the center piece because it had to fold into it. And then I took my flap that I cut, which is smaller. So I left, in here, I left this part, and I left a border. And at the top of it, and I cut this piece here also. So there are two pieces cut the exact same size. The green piece and this piece. They're exactly the same size. This black piece here, this flip piece, has a flip, you know, a little flip piece, and I put it between these two pieces before I glued them together. So it's hidden. It's hidden in here, so you don't see it. But it also gives it a little bit more stability. And then I rounded these corners, okay? And it looks like the edge of this right here needs just a little tiny, maybe just a smidgen of a trim right there. Just a little teeny smidgen right there. Okay, now when you pick this up, inside here is going to go this, and I cut in here. Now to make this, I'm going to show you, and it's going to sit right here like this. Okay, and then inside here is going to go this little tag. And this little tag is going to sit down like that. And I've got two little charms that hang off of it. Okay. Now, these little charms may not stay on there because they kind of get in the way of all this. Like when this turns over, they get in the way. Because that piece turns back. Remember, that piece turns back. And look how pretty that looks when it turns back. I just love that. But these little charms make that a little too bulky, that little that little silver one. So I'm thinking that little silver one has to come off because it's just too bulky. So, oops, now it's caught. So I got to take that little silver one off. The little butterfly can stay, but the little silver charm has to come off. So I need to do that. Now, if I didn't want to put a little silver any charms on it, I could just put fabric on it. I could put, you know, anything else on there that I wanted, but it needs to be flat to hang off of there. It just needs to be flat. And I like things that hang on my tags. And this little butterfly is nice and flat, and it doesn't get in the way. So I'm going to leave my little butterfly on there. And it sits nice and flat. Now, on the back of this, so it snuggles in there just like that. So on the back of this, we're going to just take some scraps. Hold on. We're just going to take some scraps of some cardstock. And I didn't forget about the little index cards. We're going to get back to it. Okay. And there's also going to be another pocket on the front of that. We're just going to take some scraps of some cardstock. And let's see, is this piece long enough? It is. Okay, I want to cut this off right here because I need to cut off some little pieces, but I want to keep that. Now, I need to cut myself two little pieces. That one might not be, I don't think that's very straight. Maybe I can cut this one a little bit straighter. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay, this one I think. I'm going to need another one like this. And you're going to fold them in half. And this is a 1/2 inch. So you're going to fold it in half. Okay. And it needs to be the length of your card. But I'm not going to cut it right this minute. I just need to get it folded first. And if I was smart, I would pick up my little scoreboard, but not everybody has a scoreboard, so I'm just showing you how I do it without it. These little pieces, I just meet them in the middle. I take my finger and I just push it in. See how I've got my finger in the middle? And I just push it into the middle. And then once I've got it in the middle, I dig for this. And I just push it forward to get it good and crisp. There we go. Now I need another one that's about the same. Now I want this to be the length of this little card. Okay, now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Now my edges are rounded, so I don't need this to be the complete length. I need it to go to right about there. And now I need another one this same length. I don't think this one's the right width. It's close. Close, but no bananas. That one's not big enough either. All right, so let's cut us another one here. I don't know if this piece is long enough. Let's see. Oh, it's long enough. Good. So let's cut us another. 1/2-inch piece. My goodness, I am just not doing a very good job of. Now, if you have a paper cutter like I do, let me show you a little trick you can use with your paper cutter. You can take your paper cutter and you can, okay, somewhere I just saw it here. Now I don't want to lose this. Somewhere. Oh my gracious, you guys. Oh my gracious. Hold on. It's here somewhere. I don't need the ruler. I don't need this. Okay. You can take, and you can use your paper cutter as your scoreboard. The little groove that's in your paper cutter, you can use for your scoreboard. Now, that did not work very well. Somewhere I have, here, this one will work. You put your paper where you center your paper, and then you take and you run it right down the groove, your cutting groove. And it scores your paper for you. Now, on bigger pieces of paper, like if it's wider, you can put this down. You can put it down and then put it in here and scoot the little wire over and do it that way. But since this is such a small piece of paper, I couldn't do that. Okay, so let's go on and fold this. And that helps. So if you have a paper cutter that has, the cutting groove, you can use that. Okay, so there we go. We have that piece. Now, we're going to cut it to this same length. Right here. We're going to use it on the other side. Let's put those up there out of the way. Now, remember, folded edge to folded edge, okay? Because you want them nice and firm. And we're not using this pocket as a flip. We're using this as a little gusset. Okay, so I want to... Now, I'm cutting that at a little angle just to kind of keep it from being so bulky up there toward the top. Okay. Now, let's see here. And to make my tag easier to go in. So I'm putting glue there. And then I'm putting glue on the other side. Now I'm not gluing it closed. I haven't glued it closed. And I probably shouldn't have put glue on the outside of it yet because I'm not ready to glue it down. Well, it'll dry. It'll dry. Now I'm putting it right up against the edge. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Okay. Come on. Oh, good heavens. I think I just put the glue on the wrong side again. Yes, I did. Oh, gracious. Lori. Okay, this side. And I'm going to put it right there. Right up against the edge. Right there. All the way down. Scooch it down. Okay. Now this is going to go right there. So now I do need to make sure that I have my glue. I have actually have wet glue right there. And I want it all the way to the top of the page. Right there. Oops, you're scooting out there, bud. Get back in there. And you want it lined up right underneath your flap, okay? Get back in there. You don't want it sticking out of your flap. You want it lined up right underneath it. And those little gussets will give your tags. Oh, I need to put some glue underneath the bottom of it too. They'll give your tags room, a little more room to go in. All right, so I need to put some glue at the bottom. Okay, so let me put some glue across the bottom here. Right there. Okay. There we go. Right there. Now, there's that. So our little tag that we had can slide in there. Just like that. There, just like that. And then this can come over, but before we do that, we have a pocket that's going to sit right here. Just like that. So it gets glued on, just like any other pocket. Okay. Now you can put your pocket this way, you can put it that way, but I like this little bird, so I'm going to put it just like this. So I have it that going this way and that going this way. Okay. Now, when this is down, you need to make sure that this is laying flat. Okay, so there's that. Now, to make these, it depends on the size of your page, but this is what they look like. Okay, so basically, you're measuring out a piece of paper that is 5.5 inches long. This is 5.5 inches. Okay. I got the hiccups, you guys. And it is 5 inches wide. It's almost a square. And then when you fold it up, you want to leave a little bit. Let me show you here. Let me see if I can ink the top of this so I can show you. You want to leave a little bit right here at the top. Can you see the difference up here at the top? Let's make sure you can see the difference. You want to leave a little bit at the top showing, okay? Just a little bit. You want to leave a little bit at the top showing. Now, if you want to do like a vintage style, then you would make this with vintage paper. So the style of paper that you make it is going to reflect your folders. Now, I don't have a punch board, an envelope style punch board or anything like that. So I made my tabs with my punch, with this punch. Okay, it just punches one. And then I put it here, but I also didn't, my paper's one-sided, so I didn't want the inside to be white. So I just cut a little strip of paper that covers the inside, and then I put my little tab in between this little colored piece of paper and the white piece that's on the inside. So it looks like my file folder is made of double-sided piece of paper, and it's a decorative piece, and the tab is on the inside. So it's between my colored piece of paper and the strip that's going across here. Does that make sense? So now you can't see it. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does. So this little thing right here will go in my idea book as a sample, and then I'll just make another one of these to put with it. And then I can put this away. Now I have that. Okay, so now for these two things here, we'll get those decorated. Okay. Now, remember I told you I was going to show you how I did this. Okay, so for that, here is that. Okay, and there's the flip. So for the small ones, you want to cut a piece of paper that is 10.5 inches long. Okay, so these are the small ones. Now you can make these things any length you want to make them. You can make them, I've made them, big before, really big. I've made them, I've cut a piece of paper that's 12 inches long and made my envelopes 6 inches. And then you want to fold it up. And now this fold here is 4 inches. This fold right here is 4 inches. Okay, my top fold that makes the top of it, this part right here, is 2 inches. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, my top fold is 2 inches. And if I'm covering the inside, if I'm using white one-sided paper and I have to cover the inside, score it. See my score lines? Score it. Otherwise, you end up with your paper starting to crack. See that? See where it started? Score your paper. Otherwise, your paper will crack. Okay? And make sure your paper dries. And before you do anything, pre-fold your paper. So pre-fold this paper where you want it to fold. Pre-fold this paper where you want it to fold. And then match up the folds when you glue it. Okay? And then when you're ready to really fold it, score the paper. And then you won't get any cracks. Okay? That's my little ladybug tip for you for the day. Okay? And then if you want this to be a tip out, like this one is, if you want it to tip, before you glue it closed, put your little hinge on the inside. Put it on the inside like this. And then bring it up and close it like that. Now you don't see it. So then when you're ready to put it on your page, your hinge is hidden, and you can do like we did here. We hid the hinge between two pieces of paper, and it's hidden, and it looks so much neater and tidier, and you don't have that mess. Now, you don't have to do this, but I always round my corners because these are rounded, so I round these. And when you fold it, you want to make sure that you have enough room between this top and this top for a closure. Now, typical closures are the little round circles here, and you can wrap things around them. I don't particularly like those in my folios because things get caught on them. So I always use the Velcro. Here's the Velcro that we did yesterday. It's all stuck down. I just have to decorate this, and I just haven't had time to decorate it yet. Okay, so this will go in the idea book. I have the bigger ones in there, but I just need to put the small ones, the little one in there. It's a lot easier to put a little one in your idea book than your great big ones. Okay, so now I need to mark where my closure is going to be. Otherwise, I'm going to decorate over it, and I'm going to forget to actually put it in when I'm ready to put it in. So we already know that this is going to close. This is going to close. Oops, I got it backwards. This is going to close. This is going to close. And this is going to close like this. Okay, so that's how we're going so far. And remember that hidden pocket that we did yesterday? There it is right there. There's the pocket right there. So this part goes over the pocket, and we haven't attached anything yet that's going to be the front of the folio. So I need to make sure I put an X where my front is going to be. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep covering things with paper and I'm going to forget. But I want to use magnets to seal this. Now, I'm not ready for that yet. But I know that this is how my folio is going to go. And I know that right here, and actually it's going to go right here and right through here are where my closures are going to go. Okay, so they're going to go right here. So I need to get, now that I've got it pinched right there, I can go on and mark with my pencil that is where my closure needs to go through, right there. Okay, so I know that that's where it's going to go. So let me get my little pokey tool here. And I'm just going to poke a hole right through there. Okay. And fold this up like that. And then I can line this up straight. And I can make a mark right here. Like that. And I don't know if you can see my pencil mark right there. Right there's my pencil mark. So now I have to figure out how to get my closure to go from there to there. Okay. All right. Now, let's open this back up. Now, this page, we're going to be putting other stuff on this page, but let's move to this page, okay? So, if you notice, I'm going back and forth. That way we can keep tabs on how full things are getting. So, over here, right here, so this is the end. This is the left side. We're going to come right here. The second panel in, okay? And we're going to take, oops, let me get a hold of it. Let me get it out of the book here. Okay, I want to take a piece of this with the butterflies. Yeah, I think this is just such a cool piece. And I want to cut this. Now, these bigger pieces like this, it's easier sometimes to just go like this. Because that way you can kind of manipulate them and make sure that they're going. Okay. I know where I want it to be. I want it to be like that. So, I'm not pushing hard. I'm just lightly going like that. So, we can move that out of our way. Now, I just saw the paper cutter. Oh, gracious. Oh, there it is. Right there. I knew we had it. Right there. Okay. Now, we're going to line up that little fold that we had right there. But I need to make sure that it's straight. So maybe we'll turn it this way. And we're going to line it up in there. So maybe that way I can make sure it's straight. There we go. Oh, that worked. Yeah, that worked. And we're going to be using this piece of it too. This piece down here. Okay. So this piece is going to go with... Okay, so I need to get this piece out right here. Okay. Now I don't need this big piece because it's just too big. There's really nothing I can do with it at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a border. And I'm going to go like this. That way I can save that. There. Okay, that's a little bit too wide, but that's okay. Now, I want to center that. Now, where did the folio go? Hello? There you are. Okay, so what I want to do is... All right, we need to get this to our length. So, we're going to put this right here. Okay, I think it's a little bit too wide. Yep. So, we need to trim it just a smidgen. So, let's trim it just a smidgen. It's just a smidgen too wide. Yep, that little smidgen, I think, is what was catching. So let's make sure. Yeah, because we don't want it in the fold. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to right there. Let's see, this piece is going back. So that'll help. Let's fold that piece back. That will help. That'll tell me what's too big, because I'll be able to see. So let's turn that over. Mark the length. Okay. And I think right here will do it. I think that will do it right there. My boys are having a play date today with a puppy. Let's see. Perfect, right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is this piece is going to go right there. Okay, all those little butterflies, I think, look so pretty against the darker black, this gray, these little gray. I think they're butterflies. I don't really know. Maybe they're moths. Who knows? And this black piece is going to end up being a belly band. Okay, and then this piece we're going to make into it's going to go up here like this, and it's going to be a window. Okay, so it's going to be a window. It's going to come down the full length, and then this is going to end up being a belly band across, you know, to come down on this same piece. So this piece here needs to be the same size as the piece below it. So it's going to go like this. And it's going to come like this. So the easiest way to do this is to just draw the size. So when I'm cutting, I can see the size I need. That's the easiest way to do it. And then we can cut our window. Well, actually, I think what I'll do is I'll go off camera and cut the window. That way you're not watching me struggle. And, okay, let me find right there. There we go. Okay, so now here's the piece right here, and here's this. Okay, so this will be the belly band, and then up here will be a window, and it's going to be a pocket that comes down. This little belly band piece will come straight across, and you'll be able to put stuff in it. Okay, is that making sense? All right, so let me go on and cut the window to make the long pocket, and then I will be right back. Okay, here we go. So, I have our window made. This is going to be our belly band. It's going to stick through here. Let me show you. So it would go, okay, maybe I'll need to cut those a little bit wider. It would go through those. And then I'm going to put this down as a pocket. Let me cut these just a little bit wider. Just a little bit. Let's go just a little bit wider. Just a little bit. Make sure we can actually get something in there. Okay, so let's get these little, let me get my little tiny scissors here. Get these little pieces out. Okay, and then we're gonna, fingers are stuck, and then we're gonna call it a day today. Oops. Okay. Ooh, this has been fun. And we'll come back in the next video. Oh, that's better. Okay, so this, it would go like that. Oops. Go like that. So, you know, it would stop there. And then I'm going to glue the whole thing down as a pocket. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Now, I glued something over the picture there. You know, that way nothing can get hung up on it. And I think I need to put this away. Okay. This is going to be layer 1 in here. Whoops, that doesn't go there, does it? Wait a minute. That goes here. Okay, and then before I glue the bottom part down, there's going to be, ooh, I need to wipe that glue off. Before I glue the bottom down, before I glue this down, there. Okay, so here's that part. There will be a flip that will fit into this belly band part, okay? There. All right, so when we come back, in our next video, we will create the flip that goes underneath here. And I know you're wondering, why did I put that on there? Well, I needed it for the pocket space right here. I needed it for the pocket. And not only will there be a flip here, but then this will flip out this way. And I need to trim this. Actually, I think I'm going to flip it the other way. I think I might flip it this way. And then there will be a flip that attaches here, a little flip that's going to fit into here. So I needed this to be able to flip that way. Okay. So far, this is what we have. We are just building and building. We have this that sits here. We have this little pocket that flips here and gives us pockets. We have this. We have this. We have this that flips up. And we still have a pocket we can add here if we choose. This flips over here, and then we have these two pieces that we can do, and then this flips back, so we have this to do. This flips over, this flips back, so we have this to do, and then all of this. Oh, look, she's getting a little chunky. How fun, you guys, how fun. And then we'll open this up. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so I'm so glad you all joined me today as we've created and we've explored all the fun of flips and flops and tucks. And so we still have this little thing to create. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, hasn't it? I am just having so much fun. So I'm glad that you all came and played with me today, and I hope that you come back and do it again as we keep adding more tucks and pockets and flips and flops and belly bands and things like that. And when we come back to the next one, I think we're going to be adding the things that attach to this one right here. And most likely, I'm thinking we're going to be finishing this up, and I'm not sure about this. I think we're going to have to maybe work on that. Now, that lays better. Okay, that one lays better. I'm going to have to put some more glue up there. And we might be working on these two ends here. So I need to work on my planning on those and get those taken care of. And then I think we're going to be flipping it over and working on the other side. So, so we have a couple more videos to go before we get done with this. So I hope you guys join me And I hope you're having fun. I know I am. And I know I'm having fun creating with you. And I hope you come back. So until I see you again in our next video of our folio, ta-ta for now.